What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Bo Nickal would break Khamzat Chimaev. Since joining the UFC, decorated NCAA wrestler Bo Nickal has continued to be compared to Khamzat Chimaev given the grappling pedigree of both fighters. In the wake of Nickal's recent win over Cody Brundage at UFC 300, Chimaev took to social media, calling Nickal's wrestling, quote, big bullshit. During the post-fight press conference, Nickal weighed in on the situation after expressing disappointment in his performance, saying that although he wasn't happy with the win, he's getting finishes while Chimaev is picking up decision wins. According to the original BMF, Jorge Masvidal, who spoke on a recent appearance on the MMA Hour, if the two fought one another, the NCAA legend would break Chimaev.
Look, if Khamzat gets into a wrestling with Bo, Khamzat loses. That gas is hard, man, and Bo's not gonna gas. Could he get caught with a shot right now because he's still earning his career? Yeah, that could happen. But other than that, he'll break whatever his name is. He'll break the dude. If they get into wrestling scrambles, especially, he'll break them even faster, you know? And I know for a fact he can't keep up that pace now. He could wrestle like that.
Nickal has made it clear that he wants to continue to work his way up the rankings and wants to remain active. As he explained backstage after his UFC 300 win, he wants to get right back into the octagon sooner rather than later. Next up, let's take a look at Paddy Pimblett reacts to getting called out at UFC 300. Heading into UFC 300, Renato Moicano and Paddy Pimblett had a back and forth on social media, with both sides expressing mutual interest in a fight. Of course, first, Moicano was scheduled for a UFC 300 fight with Jalen Turner, which wound up producing one of the best highlights of the night as Money Moicano put on an impressive comeback following a walk-off KO attempt from Jalen Turner. While it was a potential Moicano-Pimblett fight that had the attention of fans heading into the event, it was a lightweight fan favorite Bobby Green who notably called Paddy Pimblett out during his post-fight octagon interview following his win over Jim Miller. In a video for his YouTube channel, Pimblett reacted to Green's call-out, as well as the lack of a call-out from Moicano.
By Bobby, lad. Very good performance.
We knew he was going to mention me, didn't we?
The first lightweight that's called me out tonight, probably not the last. Bobby Green can get smoked. Moicano's just finished him after getting dropped in the first. Renato, where was the call-out, lad? Thought Moicano was going to mention me there, but yeah, props on the performance. That was a very, very good performance. You never know, maybe me versus Moicano. That would be a very good season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Moicano did call Paddy Pimblett out during his backstage interview after winning his fight with Jalen Turner, as well as saying at the post-fight press conference that he would be willing to fight the baddie as long as the money's right. Next up, let's take a look at Jamahal Hill reveals next UFC fight. In the main event of UFC 300, former light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill was knocked out by Alex Pereira in the first round of his highly anticipated return to the octagon. In the wake of the loss, Hill has taken to social media to give updates to his fans, while also setting up his next fight in hopes of re-entering the light heavyweight title picture, writing, "I dare to be great against adversity and against a great challenge and came up short at the highest level in the world. I answered the call twice on short notice to fight for a championship that most will never fight for. On to the next, Yuri Prochazka. Let's make it happen." In a follow-up, he then added, "To the people that support me, I'm good. Don't let haters get to you. I'm winning in life, so having to eat a loss like a man is what it is. They will be quiet when the next man drops." Of course, Prochazka has indicated that he wants to run things back with Alex Pereira in the wake of his knockout win over Alexander Rakic. From the sound of things, Prochazka may not get his wish, with Magomed Ankalaev expected to get the next crack at the title. Given that, Hill and Prochazka could very well be on a collision course for later this year, as both look to reinsert themselves into the light heavyweight title picture. Next, let's take a look at Charles Oliveira breaks silence on his UFC 300 loss. On the main card of UFC 300, Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan competed in a high-stakes lightweight title eliminator. Early on in the fight, Oliveira threatened to submit Tsarukyan with a guillotine, however he was unable to capture a finish, ultimately dropping a split decision despite a late submission attempt in the third. With the title shot now out of the picture for the former champ given the lightweight rankings, he'll now have to string together some wins before being in a position to stake his claim to a crack at the title. Following the loss, Oliveira took to social media to break his silence on the situation, telling his fans that it simply just wasn't meant to be. In a Portuguese-speaking video on social media, he explained, "Passing by to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Today was a tough fight. I had the opportunity to submit and even knock out, and I ended up not meeting either. I'm fine. I took a few dots in my eyes. I'm a little swollen, but I've also cried. That's part of it. It won't change. Just go back home, devoting myself to training and staying near my family." As many fans indicated, they wish the fight had been 5 rounds rather than 3. Although some have called for a rematch given the fact that the bout went to a decision, with Tsarukyan expected to face the winner of Makhachev vs Poirier fight, Oliveira could end up fighting either Gamrot or running his things back with Justin Gaethje for his next fight. Now let's shift gears and take a look at Michael Chandler fires back at the MMA community. After much anticipation and speculation, the UFC 303 main event bout between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler was confirmed by Dana White for June 29. Given how much time has passed since the pair coached opposite of one another on The Ultimate Fighter, many had begun to question whether or not the fight was truly going to happen. As Michael Chandler said throughout the entire process, however, he wasn't worried about the fight being made official. In the wake of the fight being announced by Dana White, he posted a video to his Instagram, breaking his silence on the fight while firing back at fans who questioned whether the bout would actually take place.
I never really doubted it as much as you guys did. I had a lot more reassurances behind the scenes than you guys know about. I just knew it was going to take time. And I preach exactly what I had to go through, and I had my moments that I didn't do so well with it, but the hard work eventually pays off. You just have to still be standing there when it does. And it's not that people don't do the right things. It's that they don't do the right things for long enough. See, it's not about you, and it's not about your timeline. It's not about what you want. Sometimes it's just about doing what you need to do with faith, with enthusiasm, constantly moving forward. That's where the beauty is.
The fight has divided the MMA community, with many having the mindset that after a lengthy layoff and a horrific leg injury, McGregor may struggle against Chandler. Despite that, in the wake of the announcement, McGregor has been sitting as a slight -120 favorite on DraftKings to Chandler's status as a +100 underdog. Next, let's take a look at Justin Gaethje gets called out in an interview. After a UFC 286 win over Rafael Fiziev, Justin Gaethje indicated in his post-fight Octagon interview that he was making one more run at the lightweight title before riding off into the sunset. In the wake of his BMF loss to Max Holloway, many have wondered what the future will hold for Gaethje now that he finds himself several fights removed from a crack at the title. During Monday's episode of the MMA Hour, Masvidal, who's unretired and preparing to box Nate Diaz, took aim at the highlight, saying that he would like to throw down with the fan favorite in his return to the octagon.
Yeah, man, the guy's like Homer Simpson CTD down. And I don't want to talk too much shit about him because he just got flatlined. So I'm hoping our paths cross in the UFC, you know, because this would be like a very good comeback fight for me, easy fight for me. I mean, he's literally just walking forward, eating shots, no head movement, no nothing. So it's definitely a guy I'd love to stick my face through. Nothing personal. Obviously, he seems like he's a little personal that I make picks and stuff, but I would love to bust Gaethje's face up, you know. Let him heal for this because he might never come back the same.
Of course, in the wake of the loss, Gaethje hasn't said that he plans to retire, despite his previous comments indicating that he was making one more run at the title. Given that, it will be interesting to see what the future holds for Gaethje. Next, let's take a look at UFC fan breaks silence after UFC 300 altercation. During the main card for UFC 300, Arman Tsarukyan was involved in an altercation with a fan during his walkout. From the view on the broadcast, the fan appeared to make a gesture towards the streaking contender, causing him to react by attempting to punch the fan. The MMA community was quick to weigh in on the situation, with some of the mindset that Tsarukyan may have crossed the line, while others said that the fan got what he deserved. In the wake of the event, the fan released a video from his perspective, showing himself giving Tsarukyan the finger moments before the altercation. While speaking in an interview with Bloody Elbow this week, the fan broke his silence on the situation, apologizing to Tsarukyan. He wrote, "I'd like to apologize to Arman for provoking him by flipping him off. I was buzzing all day and the moment got to me. It was my first time attending a live UFC event and it was absolutely incredible. I'm glad the incident wasn't as bad as it could have been. I do want to make it clear that I didn't pull him towards me, yell out offensive words, or anything of that nature. I flipped him off, nothing else. Congrats to Arman on a great performance and best of luck to him against whoever he fights for the title." As the fan indicated, despite Dana White revealing that he's expecting a lawsuit, he has no intentions of suing. However, he's hoping that Dana and the UFC will give him and his friends tickets for UFC 303. So far, no word yet from Dana White. Alex Pereira reveals sad news. Alex shared a clip on Instagram of his training before UFC 300 and revealed that he broke his toe after throwing a head kick and landed with only his pinky toe. This means that Alex is most likely out for UFC 301 and has been confirmed by Ariel Helwani. Ariel said, "It's extremely unlikely Alex Pereira fights in Rio next month. As revealed after the UFC 300 main event, he broke his toe in the days leading up to the fight, and he suffered a second broken toe during the fight too." Here are our top comments from last video. Max broke his nose before both eye pokes. You guys just mad Justin got knocked out. Calling eye pokes cheating is the most casual thing I've heard in a while. Max didn't cheat, he's just better. I'm pretty sure the broken nose would have more of an advantage than the accidental eye pokes. Unfortunate about the eye pokes, but it happens.